U.S. President Donald Trump says the war on Iran is nearing the end of the line, but images from the Middle East are telling a different story this morning. We're seeing video from Iraq of burning oil tankers set on fire by a strike from Iran. This video from Bahrain shows flames shooting up from a fuel storage depot, also hit by Iran. And this is Oman. Video verified by CBC News shows a drone targeting an oil depot. Here's Trump speaking last night as he returned to the White House.
They are pretty much at the end of the line. Doesn't mean we're going to end it immediately, but they've got no Navy, they've got no Air Force. We're going to look very strongly at the Straits. The Straits are in great shape. We've knocked out all of their boats. They have some missiles, but not very many. I think we're in very good shape. The main thing is we have to win this. They win it quickly, but win it.
Right now, images of Middle East oil supplies in flames appear to be moving the markets more than Trump's remarks. The benchmark price back up around $100 a barrel. David is with us from Amman, Jordan, to lead off our coverage this morning. David, good to see you. Let's start with the breaking developments overnight.
As you note, Linda, we have seen significant upticks in Iran's attacks on oil facilities and on those shipping routes, particularly targeting Oman, Bahrain, off of the coast of Iraq as well. And they are using a number of tactics. It's believed they have used missiles, but it could be other projectiles, things like drones. They have the capacity also to just send out drone boats as well to target those ships. And ultimately what this does is drives up the cost of oil and ultimately the price that people pay at the pump around the world, including in the United States, I would note. When you see images like that, it tells shipping companies around the world to stay away from the Strait, not just oil tankers, but cargo vessels as well. At least one cargo vessel among the 3 hit last night, 13 hit at a minimum since this war began. And it does appear that Iran is beginning to focus more of its efforts, more of its targeting, not just on the Strait of Hormuz, but on the broader Gulf area. We know that U.S. CENTCOM has been striking at the ability of Iran to lay sea mines by taking out some of those vessels. The president speaking about it there. The challenge, of course, is that Iran does seem to have, or there's at least a claim that they have been laying sea mines, and that presents a major challenge in trying to get that Strait of Hormuz fully open once again.
David, these new attacks, to you, do they reflect a shift in strategy by the Iranians?
No question. They're looking for Trump's weak spot. They think they've found it. You hear them talking about $200 a barrel oil. This is what they are trying to do. They're trying to hit those ships. They're trying to hit the oil infrastructure. They're trying to make it so Gulf oil cannot move by ship out of the region. And in so doing, when oil can't move, everywhere else it gets more expensive. And you might sit there and go, well, why is it when we are so far away in Canada and the US? It is because oil produced in North America is more valuable now in other parts of the world. And so that the oil ends up moving to those parts of the world that need it. That could include places in Asia, for instance. But the result is that globally the price goes up, even though 32 nations released about 4 days' supply from emergency reserves they have. That may have blunted the increases that we're seeing today, but they have not actually stopped them. And so the Iranians are likely, they have diminished numbers of missiles, diminished numbers of drones, and so they are increasingly focusing on the area that they think they can make a difference. Trump has sensitivity here. He campaigned on reducing gas prices. Well, the opposite is happening now. His own vice president, by his acknowledgement, has doubts about this war. So do many Republicans in Congress, and all of that together may be the thing that pushes the president to end this conflict.
We've been talking about the threat of sea mines, as you mentioned, to shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. This isn't going to go on forever, at least we hope that's not the case, David. But how difficult, when this is all said and done, will this be to remove the mines and make this shipping lane safe again?
Yeah, and this is the challenge because sea mines make the strait effectively close the strait, whereas missiles targeting some of these vessels in the strait, around the strait, they hit those vessels, but other ships can essentially go around them. When you have sea mines and you don't know where they are, it makes it a hazard to navigate. You see instances where the Americans have been targeting some of the vessels that Iran might have used. But there are other vessels. They can do this with small boats. They could use other boats than just the ones the Americans have targeted. And we know they have different types of mines in Iran. There are some that float just below the surface of the water. Those are inexpensive, very easy to put out. There are others that are detonated by acoustic or pressure sensitivity. They can be almost down at the sea floor and they release up and cause ships to be destroyed. It wouldn't take that many incidents of ships hitting those sea mines for the entire strait to just be shut down because of wreckage in the area. That could do long-term damage. It might take months to undo that. And even if there are just sea mines there, I would point you to footage that we have of Canadian military divers who routinely practice removing sea mines wherever they are in the world. The footage that we have looks at the Black Sea, for instance. You see a diver dropping into the water, and the notion is they go in and try to deactivate those mines, essentially underwater bombs. But doing this is time consuming, and you have to find them first. And that could mean weeks, if not months, if the Iranians get a lot of sea mines into the Strait of Hormuz.
It's fascinating stuff. Thanks very much, David.